to do is show you the crazy legs, as well as two variations that I came up with on my own. To do the basic crazy legs, it requires a lot of different skills as far as knowing basics. So learning a lot of the moves for breakdown moves 1 and 2 will help you with this. All these moves are more kind of fancy freestyle trick dribbles. They're not so much used to try to get you by a defender. They can be used in the game. They're all legal as long as you don't carry the ball when you do them, but generally speaking, you're not going to use a lot of these moves to try to get past someone. They're more or less to get an ooh and ah and to show off sort of thing. And they're also all very useful in actual freestyle, combinations and stuff like that. So if you're just freestyling or whatever, you can use them a lot of these in that and a lot of variations of these moves. Alright, breaking down the basic crazy legs dribble. The basic crazy legs dribble involves a lot of different moves. So if you haven't seen breakdown moves 1 and 2, I definitely suggest you see it because a lot of the moves in there are used in this. What you're going to be needing to know how to do is an inside out dribble, which is that, and a sham god, which is that. Now in this move, you're going to be using all those moves but in a real close, tight kind of dribble, real low to the ground and real quick. And you're also going to be going between your legs while doing all those moves. So you have to be very comfortable with those moves to do this because this is basically an advanced variation of those moves. Basically, it's going to be this. It's going to be an inside out dribble into sham god with your opposite hand. Okay? And you're going to be doing it all between the legs like this. So, in order to know how to do all of that together in one combination, first what you need to know is how to do the initial inside-out dribble between the legs. And it's not going to be a complete inside-out dribble where you're going over the top of the ball like that. You're going to more or less have your hand, so your arms are both, just like if you watch a Japanese tutorial, a lot of it's going to be similar in that you're going to keep your elbows locked and straight for the most part, so you can keep the ball low. And use mostly your wrist and fingertip control and your shoulder joint for the movements. So you can keep the ball low. Now what you're going to do to start out is come with a very low inside out dribble like this under your leg, opposite leg. So if you've got the ball in your left hand, right leg, right hand, go under your left leg. And you're going to come like this under the ball kind of, not so much over, so it is a little bit of a carry, and you're going to kind of cuff it. You don't need to cuff it. When you're starting out, cuffing it'll help you. After a while you learn how to do it just with your fingertip control. To cuff it, you're just going to be holding against your forearm and your wrist like this. See how I'm doing that? I couldn't normally palm a ball, but if you cuff it, it allows you to keep the ball in a palm-like motion. And basically you're going to come with an inside-out dribble like that. And watch what I'm doing here. I'm almost dribbling the ball straight down, but I'm putting a little bit of spin on it. Like that. So the ball comes back to the left side. Bringing it right, spinning it so it comes back to the left. And that's the beginning of your crazy legs right there, is this. Get comfortable with that. So it comes back to your left side. Not too far to the left. You don't want it staying over the right. You want it to kind of come from the right back to the middle and just slightly left of the middle. If you're going with your left hand, if your right hand, you want to come slightly back to your right side. But just so the ball comes back to about a little bit inside of where your original side foot is, wherever you're originating the move from, with whichever hand. Then from there, what you're going to do is jump, so the ball comes under the other leg. So what you're doing is left, right, so it's going between, from your right leg, under your left leg. And if you're doing your right hand from your left leg, right leg. And as you can tell, it takes a little bit of footwork to do that. Basically, you're just going like that. It's almost like a double kick. But you're going to be trying to do it kind of low. From there, when you get that second leg kicked over, now you want to learn how to do it. So instead of when the ball comes back to your left hand, you're not going to catch it with your left hand. Or if you're doing with your right hand, you're not going to catch it with your right hand. You're going to come with your opposite hand and come across and sham god it, but between your legs. So if you start with your left hand, you're going to sham god with your right hand under your right leg. If you start with your right hand, you're going to sham god with your left hand under your left leg. To do the last one, you're also going to make another kick. So it's 3 quick kicks right in a row. That's what really gives the move its effect. And if you watch the ball, for the most part, it's kind of staying right in this area. It's not moving a whole lot left and right after you bring it from the left or from the right with the initial inside-out dribble. And the ball's just kind of staying there in one spot. And it's moving a little bit left and right. And you're just kind of using leg motions and hand motions to move your body all around in crazy ways. And your legs doing all that kicking is why it's called the crazy legs, because it looks crazy the way your legs are moving. So, you're going to go boom, boom. See that? Real low kicks, nothing too high. It's more like a shuffle, like a dance type thing. And see how it's all real low dribbles? I'm keeping my arms so my elbows are locked so my hands can stay low on the whole dribble. The lower you keep your hands, the easier it is to get your hands back on the ball and maintain control of it. And get that feel for it down. I mean, a lot of it's going to be a rhythm thing and a control thing. You have to learn to get good control of all these different moves. I mean, like I said, start with this, then go into this. Once you get all that down, try going like this. Then bring it all together, and that's your crazy legs. Now, for the variation of the crazy legs, this is one of the variations I came up with, and it looks a lot different from the original, but the concept is very similar in that you're going to be doing this, but you'll be doing it in a different motion. For some, this way might be harder, for some it might be easier. Basically, you're going to lift your opposite leg from whichever hand has the ball. You're going to go under just like normal and come back between your legs, but you're not going to kick your second leg up. It's all a control thing and less of a footwork thing. So it's going to come like this, and you're going to put that spin on it so it comes back, and quick bring that same leg back instead of bringing this leg forward. See that? Same thing going between your legs, one way and the other in one dribble, but this leg stays down. So if you're doing it with your left hand, your left leg stays down, right hand, right leg stays down. Now the thing that makes this a little different is the way I started. To do my variation of it, you start with the sham guy with the opposite hand, but it's more actually of an inside-out dribble, so it's going to be like this. Okay? So if you got your right hand, you're going to go inside-out dribble onto your right leg. From there, you're going to lift your leg up to do that, and you're going to come under your leg with your opposite hand. So right hand under right leg, come get with your left hand. See how I'm going to come with the sham guy type motion? And I'm going to do that first thing I taught you after that. Like that. To do this thing. But you're doing that as a sham guy. Inside out between the leg with right hand under right leg. Sham guy with the double between the legs. So this is what it's going to look like. And from there, I like to add one more dribble to the end. It's basically like the hot sauce move like that, the hurricane. But instead, to get more of the footwork aspect back into it, I lift it like that. So if you got the ball in your left hand, you're going to come, lift your opposite leg, and go over the top and under. And I like to try to tap my knee, right there on the outside of my knee. That'll ensure you always have the dribble come in the same spot. If you always tap that knee, 95% of the time the ball is going to come to the same spot so you can get control of it again. Altogether, the whole thing is going to look like this. Now for the final variation, this is basically going to be the crazy legs, but reversed in some ways, because instead of going between your legs normal from the front, you're going to come between the legs from behind. Same thing. It's going to be an inside-out type dribble with spin on it. This one's more difficult though because you have to use a little bit more flexibility and reach further with your arm under your leg. So if you got the ball in your left hand, you're going to go through your left leg from behind. Or if you got the ball in your right hand, you're going to go between your right leg from behind. And you're going to reach across as far as you can. And you're going to do that same thing with the inside-out dribble as the regular crazy legs, where you put a little spin on it like that. And then, this is what it looks like on the other side. And then, from there, you're going to go under your opposite leg. Same thing. Kick, kick. See that? Same thing. And then from there, what I like to do is add one more dribble. And I come with the opposite hand. See that? So that, on the second kick, you're going to catch it with your opposite hand. So if you start the dribble with your left hand, you're going to catch it with your right hand. That second kicking leg is going to come back, and you're going to go into this hot sauce hurricane. Just like I showed you before in my first variation of the crazy legs. You're going to, except you're not lifting your leg, you're going to come like that. And on the version where your legs are both on the ground, I like to kind of slap more like the side of the butt with the leg, like that, to ensure it comes through the same way, like that. I take one more step back and sham God. Like that, one more step, sham God. So the whole thing, basically, you'll be going like this, stepping back, and stepping back. One more time. So you're moving back the whole way. So left hand under the left leg from behind, and right leg on the first dribble. On that second kick, bring that leg back. Hot sauce hurricane. Get it with the opposite hand, your left hand, and step back one more time into a sham God, regular style. And this is what it's all going to look like together. One more time. Like I said before, these are all very advanced dribble combinations and variations. They're more freestyle, not used quite so much to break down defenders, but they're very flashy, very impressive, and they work great in freestyle. Phenomenal building blocks for trying to learn more advanced type freestyle and come up with remixes. Try to come up with different ways of maybe adding spins in, going between your legs different ways, sham Godding different ways, sham Godding with your arm between your legs different ways, you know, like that, and coming between your legs in different ways. And that'll allow you to come up with your own variations and be creative with it. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Take your time on learning these, you know, spend a lot of time on them because they're not going to be easy to begin with. After you get comfortable with them, it'll become like second nature, just like riding a bike, and very comfortable when you get the rhythm and the feel for them down, and the control with the hands and the whole body, because these involve a lot more overall body control. Hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Let me know what else you want to see. I got an in-game tricks move to do on defenders tutorial coming soon, so be sure to check that out, and check out all my other tutorials if you haven't seen. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll be back with another video soon.